inside the Fantasy Springs Casino, Indio, California, the Coachella Valley, and the night of heavyweights. Been a good one so far. We have a huge month here. In the month of April, Golden Boy Boxing on Fox Sports 1. Ronnie Rios, Andrew Cancio, Chicago, Illinois. That's a Monday night, April 14th. Then that Friday, San Antonio, Texas, Alan Sanchez against Jorge Silva. That'll be a real good one. Those two just go at it. Then the 28th from Bayamon, Puerto Rico, Michael Perez against Jorge Romero. And Puerto Rican fans love their boxing, especially what's in Bayamon. And the night before the big pay-per-view, Landi Lara, the Cuban, against Ishii Smith, Las Vegas, Nevada on May 2nd. And Lara wants to win this fight because he's calling out everybody in that division.
Is, yeah, a lot of guys are ignoring him too on those call-outs. I'll tell you.
Our next fight will be Gerald Washington against Skipp Scott. And Gerald Washington, a former UFC football player, El Gallo Negro is his nickname, goes against Skipp Strictly Business Scott from Texas.
So take a look at Gerald Washington, big man. 6'5", but he's going to be looking up at a guy tonight who's even bigger than he is. He has come along, and he likes to get out there and throw leather. As you can see, there wasn't much science right here, but finally the fight was stopped. This is a guy who loves to fight.
And let's see what he has to say with Jessica Rosales.
Yeah, very anxious and ready right now to get in the ring here. Now, you're used to having crowds of up to 100,000 people at that Coliseum cheering on you and your teammates, but tonight it's just all eyes on you and your opponent. How different is that?
Man, it's a different thing being by yourself, man, but having my friends and family here is nothing like it, man. It makes me want to do my thing. Vallejo, Bay Area, Lopez, BBC, everybody stand up, baby. It's time to go to work. Let's go.
Suerte.
Gracias.
There you hear the Spanish. El Gallo Negro, his mom is actually from Jalisco, Mexico. He speaks fluent Spanish, but as we mentioned, he played football at USC for 2 years under Pete Carroll. Some of his teammates from that SC squad that won 2 Rose Bowls when he was there are here tonight. One of them is Shalom Rashad, the NFL guard who played with Kaepernick and Alex Smith with the 49ers. And he has a big support staff around him. And you see the signs, you see everybody around him. Gerald Washington is making a name for himself, Rich.
Well, yeah, and his record, you can't argue with it. 11-0 with 8 KOs. As we mentioned, he's a big guy. You saw in those pre-fight highlights that he's a guy who loves to fight. He loves to brawl. And we understand Pete Carroll, who he played for, has been known to tweet a little bit about him as well. So we take a look at the tail of the tape. And again, as we mentioned, these are a new generation. You're just hearing about these heavyweights, but look at the ages. They are not babies in the ring. And Gerald Washington, at that height, is going to be looking up and giving height away to Skipp Scott. And Skipp Scott is a guy who's very confident here tonight. And he's bringing a big record of 16-1 into the ring against this 11-0 Gerald Washington. I'd say it's very unusual for 2 guys who are on the way up to have these kind of records and to meet in the center of the ring.
And that's the beauty of what we do here tonight. Let's go to the ring with Joe Martinez.
Showdown. Brought to you by Golden Boy Promotions with our sponsors for the evening, Corona Extra, La Cerveza Más Fina, and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. The 3 judges scoring this bout at ringside on the 10-point must system. Raul Kynes Jr., Max Kalinka, and Hall of Famer Marty Denkin. And when the action begins inside the ring, your referee in charge, Dr. Lou Moran. And here we go, fight fans. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner. Wearing red trunks, trimmed in black, he weighed officially 260.75 pounds. After dropping his professional debut, he enters the ring tonight riding a 16-fight winning streak. Hailing from Houston, Texas, here is Skipp, Strictly Business Scott. And after the counter across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. Wearing red and gold, trimmed in white, he weighed officially 255.75 pounds. This heavyweight is perfect in his campaign. 11 rounds, 11 victories,
Okay, gentlemen, I give you instruction and dressing. You have a good fight. Listen to my commands. Shake hands. We'll turn you.
You may have noticed the leading Skipp Scott out to the ring, and right to his the left side there, Jesse Reed, a very famous trainer who has fought a number of world champions. Excuse me, has trained a number of world champions, including the likes of the Canizales, Orlando, Gabby, Roger Mayweather, down through the years, and he is very high on Skipp Scott. I think this fight is a bit of a question mark here.
Skipp Scott lost his first ever professional fight after only 3 amateur fights. And after that, he's gone 16-0. Skipp with the red and black trunks, with the gold gloves. Gerald Washington, the gentleman, Gerald Washington is Gallo Negro, with gold and red. He has the Mexican and USA flags on his trunks. He has the USC on the back of his trunks. This guy has an interesting story at the age of 31. Played football at USC, but was also in the military. Joined the Navy right out of high school because he said he wanted to only just be in the Navy. He was a helicopter mechanic stationed in San Diego. Skipp Scott at the age of 35. It sounds old, but he's young in boxing terms because he was a kickboxer before he became a pro boxer. Played junior college basketball, as these two big boys are just all over each other. They're just swinging. And Skipp Scott is on the push down, and it's a fight where Gerald told me, I saw him walking into the arena, he said he expected it to be messy. Well, it's going to be right away.
That's right. He may be a gentleman, but I'll tell you, there's going to be a fight breaking out here.
You just have limbs all over Rich. As Gerald, you're 6'5". He's like, well, closer to 6'6". You might want to say that. 6'5 and a half. Okay, we'll give you the 6'6". Everybody wants to be taller. What's it like when you have 2 big guys like this?
Well, it's unusual, but it does increase the mystery surrounding a fight, and plus it increases the chance that anything can happen at any moment. But this is, when you have the likes of Lennox Lewis fighting Klitschko, I mean, those were 2 big men, big, powerful men, and they both know how to get guys out of there, as do these 2.
Now that ring looks tiny right now. Washington bringing the right. Scott pushes Washington down.
This is rough. These guys are each trying to establish their turf right now.
Yeah, it's scheduled for 10, Rich.
Well, good luck with that.
Skipp Scott now lives in Houston, Texas. Said his first martial arts was Taekwondo at the age of 8. Became a black belt at 13.
And Scott was very kind of insulted, and even was Jesse Reed, his trainer, that he was being considered just an opponent here for Gerald Washington coming in.
If you look at his record, 61, you don't ever consider somebody at 61 just an opponent.
10 seconds.
10 seconds to go in the first round between Gerald Washington and Skipp Scott.
Move to the right. Move your hands like this. You don't know what's going on.
This broadcast of Golden Boy on Fox is brought to you by Corona Extra, La Cerveza Más Fina, and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
I want a right hand down here and then drive that fucking left hook and send him home. Send him home with that left hook. You heard him. His mouth
Jesse
opened
Reed
up
right
big
in Skipp
time.
Scott's face.
Don't wait for him. You be the boss. Look at me. You be the boss.
Across the way, a little calmer atmosphere.
His trainer, John Foreman, they trained in Burbank, California. Gerald grew up in Vallejo, Northern California now. Trains out of Burbank, California. Skipp Scott, along with his trainer. His trainer, who's one of your most favorite guys? Like Reed? Johnny Tapia. The relationship he had with Tapia wasn't just a boxer trainer. It was just, that was a friend, he said. That was a family.
I can remember I was at the Forum the night that Roger Mayweather with Jesse Reed in his corner, was fought Julio Cesar Chavez, and Reed actually got thrown out of the place in the 10th round by the referee.
Why?
For apparently just arguing too much with the ref. He threw him out, and I'll tell you, Reed's still not happy about that.
Chavez, the Forum, what fights you must have seen.
That was an interesting night.
Interesting night. We have a fun night here at the Fantasy Springs Casino in Indio, California, Coachella Valley. Always fun fights here. And Skipp Scott coming over with a big right, nothing landing.
Yeah, I think Scott needs to, throw a few more power shots. I think he was trying to establish some kind of boxing in that round, but Washington wants to slug, and Scott's going to have to get his respect. These guys are all confident fighters. Yesterday, I was really impressed by their feelings about what they can do in a heavyweight division, even though they're past 30 years old right now, because they see things opening up. One, Klitschko, is retired, of course, and the other probably not too far near the end.
And Scott goes down, and he was hit. Referee Lou Moret said he's going county.
He was hit with a body shot while he was down, actually.
And that's what Scott is saying. Scott stayed on his knees, standing up, and he's telling Moret, I was hit while I was down.
Yeah, he barely got up. He was wobbled, then he went down to a knee. Look, and he's really wobbled, and
he's
that's
wobbling,
it.
And that's it, Rich.
And there'll be some controversy about this because he was on his knees, he was hit with the shot, and Gerald Washington wants to dance.
And referee Lou Moret is getting an earful from the corner of Skipp Scott. Washington did hit him with a nice shot, but as he was down, Rich, looked like he got him.
Gerald Washington with the big win. This real unusual finish. I'll tell you, that last punch definitely came when he was down. But we'll take a look at it. There's that good right. Now he's down, and there's that body punch while he was down. That right hurt him, though. That right really wobbled him. He went down, basically, from that first one, but while he was down on a knee, he gets hit that second shot.
It looked like he went down, take a knee, but then he was hit while he was down.
Well, he was hit with that first hard shot. Gerald Washington definitely hurt him. Now he's down there and hit with a right hand to the body. Now the referee was looking right at it, and he didn't call a foul on it.
And let's go to the ring with the final punch stats tonight. Tonight's CompuBox stats are brought to you by ThrowdownFantasy.com, Draft Fighters, Track Stats, and Win.
All right, well, you can't tell much from that. Basically, what you can tell is those last couple of punches. These guys threw a lot of punches. They didn't really land a lot, but that last one landed. And I'm sure there's going to be some complaints out of the Skipp Scott corner, and I do believe that I think he has an argument. He was hit while he was down.
Gerald Washington continues to stay undefeated, 12-0 now. And there you see Gerald Washington is now 12-0. He dedicated this fight to his Nina Teresa. It's her birthday today. He said, make sure to get that in there. Let's go to the ring. Actually, let's go with Jessica Rosales, who spoke with Skipp Scott's corner.
Yeah, Beto, they were very upset, saying that it should have been a disqualification in their eyes because Scott got hit, what they say, when he was already down. Now, they were saying that the fight, it was going back and forth. They didn't see anybody really controlling it, and that they really came here to box, and they feel like they didn't get the chance. Now, they're saying had it not been stopped, that he definitely would have kept going. They see that he still has fight in him, and they think that the fight would have continued.
What I thought was interesting was that when he went down, though, the referee did not call it a knockdown. He did not say stop. He did not, with his motion of his arm, indicate a knockdown. So Washington punched, and Scott was definitely down on one knee when he got hit with that body punch. Now there's that right hand. As you take a look, you'll see Scott kind of slipping here.
Yeah, it looked like he just took a knee down.
He does not call a knockdown, though. he walks to it, and then he was hit when he was down. So it's an interesting twist, that's for sure.
Let's get our decision in particulars with announcer Joe Martinez.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes officially 1 minute 40 seconds, round number 2. Referee Dr. Lou Moret puts a halt to the contest. Your winner by KO victory here still, the undefeated gentleman, Gerald El Gallo Negro, Washington.
El Gallo Negro, Gerald Washington, 12-0. His 9th KO in his young career. Former USC football player, U.S. Navy veteran. Big smile on his face. And coming up next, Diego De La Hoya from Mexicali, the 19-year-old is 3-0, and he's exciting, all action. He's coming up next in the featherweight division against Yaxel Marrero. Marrero from Puerto Rico, De La Hoya from Mexico. Always great when those two countries get at it.
4 or 5 punch combination, and that's going to be